we see this?
I'm going to blur out the grippers.
Not for free. That's Patreon.
That's Patreon content. But I am, going through my annual, quarterly, monthly at this point. You know what? It's like it started literally on my birthday.
And it hasn't really stopped.
You haven't
really taken a break. Artsy Marcy gave us this at KCON, and it's been in our bathroom. It's on the sink. Yeah,
it's on the sink, like featured.
But we haven't shown it off.
Yeah,
because it's been in there. Cherry Magic, or
episode 7. It's giving wizard.
You are the invalid.
Huh?
I have to.
You're the 10. I'm being tended.
Yeah.
You're the tender.
You're the 10D.
Yeah.
I used to make a joke when I was in high school because high school comedy is like peak comedy, obviously. Oh, yeah. And I used to say that I wanted to own a strip club when I was older and call it Chicken Strips.
I bet you that actually exists.
And the strippers would have to start in chicken costumes.
Very
bushel and a peck.
And they get fried.
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck, I want chicken strips now for lunch. Let's wrap this up. Anyway, I thought it was going to be hard to talk about this episode because this entire episode is so introspective. It is just thoughts. The actual amount of dialogue spoken to each other is
very minimal.
Very minimal.
Right. This is a not plot focused episode. This is a pure
just character development.
Yeah. Which is great.
It's nice to like get that break.
And I have to say, this is like a great length of show time for the show.
Yeah.
My fear, we talked about this a little bit last episode, but with the Thailand version, Thailand shows are always like 40-minute episodes. And I'm worried that in order to fit that length, they're going to have to just add fluff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot of fluff that you can add that is like still in service of the story. But I think one of the things I really appreciate about this show is how tight it is.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like there's extraneous stuff that's just there to add length.
Yes. Like we're not seeing Rokaku try to do another sail and then he fumbles it.
Right.
Yeah. It's not truly adding to the dynamic of the two.
But now that you say that, if they do add extraneous stuff and it is like side character stuff, I would find that fun.
Yeah.
Because like I'm thinking of like Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, a show that I loved.
A-plot, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's just like how throughout the course of that show, all 4 seasons, the side characters were so well developed that at the end of the show, they almost all had their own plot lines running concurrently, which was super fun.
Like you could throw something like one of the Joshes and it's like, oh, I already know like their entire story. So this is fun. Yeah.
This episode starts where we left off the last one. So Kurosawa has just confessed his love for Adachi. And
Adachi basically like...
Should we tell them?
Tell them about what?
The first time I said I love you to you.
We're not saying this on this YouTube show. Adam said I love you to me in media res.
In the middle. Mm-hmm. The second time?
I don't think I remember the second time.
No, I think I said it the second time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
in media res.
Yes.
In the middle of the action of the scene.
Mm-hmm. When we came into the scene.
Yeah.
That was the action going on.
I can't believe you're saying this.
But in my defense, RJ's great. And two, we had known each other
years.
For 3 years at that point.
We already shared love for one another at that point.
Yes.
Do we now?
It's a great question.
I don't know.
Tune into the Patreon to find out.
What is the Patreon really funding?
How much do attorneys go for nowadays?
But
I can laugh about it because my parents are divorced. Okay, so I can make jokes.
I know, but
He can't.
but all of our shippers, everyone that ships us, I don't want you to,
Should we search our names on AO3?
I am telling this right here, right now. If someone writes an AO3 about boys love,
I'll give you a free
love,
Patreon.
I will grant you a free Patreon. I will buy
For
you
1 month.
For 1 month.
Okay, calm down.
Okay, calm down. It's got to be good.
And it has to be subjectively good.
It has to be subjectively good.
To
Run
us.
it through an editor, like
Right. I don't want to see a mix up of your and your. Okay.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, no. If you write a subjectively good fanfic of Boys Love,
I love that we are using subjectively good.
Boys Love, AO3 fanfic, we will read it on Patreon, and I will send you like a sweatshirt with the Boys Love sweatshirt.
Oh,
and
yeah, with our
embroidered
little faces.
Okay, there you go. The cutoff date is end of the year. Let's save it for Christmas. You have all Burr months to write a beautiful mature only.
No, I don't. Write whatever speaks to your person.
Yes, yeah. Adachi is frozen.
He can't react.
Kurosawa even like comes close to him and like almost basically like touches his like the side of his face, and Adachi just like looks down and can't react, which causes Kurosawa to say, "I'm sorry. Let's forget all that. I know I plan to." And then starting tomorrow, we can just pretend none of this happened.
We'll just go back to normal. Do you think that would actually work?
No, it never.
This was another conversation that we had when we started dating, because we had been best friends, and we genuinely had to have a conversation of being like,
yeah, just like Jang Hao and Hanbin were best friends.
We're not even discussing them here.
It's
not even about them.
Yes.
We had to have a serious conversation of being like,
if something goes wrong.
If it goes south, are we going to lose our friendship because of it? It was a very serious consideration that we had. And
it took a few people's like advice.
And it did go south. I got the old ball and chain now. We love like 1960s comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who we are? We're Ethel and
Fred.
Not even Lucy.
No. No world are we Lucy and Ricky. Even though we are an interracial couple.
We are absolutely Ethel and Fred.
Yeah. Unfortunately. You're Fred, by the way.
Hey, Ricky.
Do you think there are at least... There's a percentage of people watching this episode that have no... Artsy Martsy knows. There is a percentage of people who don't know who the fuck we're talking about. And that is wild to me.
And that's gorgeous.
It's not a commentary on who you are as a person. It's just we live in a different time.
We live in a liver.
We live in a liver. Kurosawa has confessed his love to Adachi.
He runs away, and Adachi is fully like, I should go after him, but why can't I?
He can't. Adachi, I will say, is annoying this episode. Unfortunately, it's
his plight.
That's his plight, is that he is like unable to act.
Mm-hmm.
But how it ends is like really good.
It's him finally building the strength, but then also like realizing why he can't stop thinking about Adachi. Whew. And that's the thing, like, even if like whatever, like people come and go, but like if you're still actively thinking about someone when they're not there anymore,
people in media res and go.
Like that's, I don't know, that I feel like some people like are dismissive of that, and I'm glad that he was like, there's a reason why I can't stop thinking about him.
Mm-hmm. Kurosawa, this episode, we get to hear his thoughts separate from
his
Adachi listening to his thoughts. And we get his full tragic backstory, which honestly, not that tragic. Except for the scene with the CEO. That's tough,
absolutely. Yeah.
Obviously.
Back to Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Hot guys have feelings too. Where
Yes.
Like, he's just like, I'm pretty, but I'm sad.
Yes, pretty people can be sad. It isn't all
Yeah.
sunshine, daisies, buttermellow for pretty people.
We are sad too.
So his backstory really is people only value me for my attractiveness, not for how good I am at my job or anything. And there is a specific scene that it cuts to where they like go out after work
With the
president of the company they're working with, like they're contracted with. Yeah. She is a woman
of a certain age.
Yes, she's a. We'll say it. She's a MILF. Let's say it. She chastises Adachi. Adachi also gets invited, which is very funny to me. Adachi gets invited. They go out. They have some drinks. She chastises Adachi because he's not drinking. Adachi says, I don't hold my liquor well. And she was like, well, you're a man. Don't do this. Who cares? Anyway.
So Kurosawa starts basically drinking the wine for him.
For Adachi.
So that way. Doesn't this happen too in that dinner? Well, Adachi was supposed to like take a shot and he drinks it for him. So they're at dinner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first dinner.
Yeah. So there's already that. So Kurosawa's already like hammered. And then Miss Ma'am is like,
She touches his thigh and she's like, should we go somewhere more private?
Yeah.
To which Kurosawa was like,
he
what the
jumps.
fuck?
Yes. And then like stumbles away and overhears his coworkers be like, what a bad sport he is. Because doesn't he know this is just part of it? This is part of the gig. First of all, no. It's never part of it, girl. If that's happening,
the craziest thing to me is like in scenes like this, I know there are people that genuinely think this.
I know.
This is like their actual thought process, like, well, it's just part of how it is.
Part of the job.
I mean, that was like how it was in like a I don't want to say everything's perfect in Hollywood now, but like in a Me Too moment.
Yes.
Like it
Pre-Ronan Farrow.
There was an expectation of goods and services.
Yeah.
Kurosawa's drunk. They leave and he like
basically like lays down outside.
He collapses on Adachi, so Adachi gets to
catch him.
And lays him down on a park bench and then is like, there's this really sweet moment where kind of Kurosawa opens his eyes for the first time to
how he's being,
who Adachi is.
Oh yeah.
And like how sweet and caring he can be.
Because even here, like, okay, this is pre-wizard, right?
This is pre-wizardry.
Fully just Adachi just reacting to a really bad situation and like still being innately caring.
The only thing that bumps me with this is that when we are at the beginning of the show, episode 1, when he describes Kurosawa, he describes him as being like, he's totally perfect. He's never done anything wrong. Blah, 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 blah.
And then we see this.
And technically, this has happened before that.
Yeah.
That's the only issue that I have with it is like, I feel like Adachi would have mentioned, but this one time this thing happened. I understand that like overall, Kurosawa is like a truly perfect person, but I do think this was a huge moment for Kurosawa. That's why we're getting it in his flashback. But I would also think this would be a pretty big moment for Adachi.
Yeah.
Because it's him realizing
the
humanness of the humanity of Kurosawa. Anyway.
But I wonder if back then, because he didn't know that like he didn't even comprehend that like they could be attracted to each other, that it was just more like that's how good of a worker he is that he's giving himself up like this.
Adachi's like, it's really nice to see you taken down a peg. Which is like, it is a little mean, right? Because Kurosawa was just
drunk and harassed.
But I think they both take it well. And I think it's like a nice moment between the two of them where they kind of like see each other as more equals than I think they had previously. And then we get the montage.
We get the montage of like, this has started the process for Kurosawa thinking everything Adachi does is adorable.
Perfect, yeah.
And he
comes in with bedhead.
The bedhead.
The bedhead is perfect.
The bedhead is perfect.
The bedhead is such a wonderful visual metaphor of who Adachi is.
Yes.
It's so good.
It's so smart.
Yes.
The bedhead, he's like, I never see him smile, but when I do, like his whole face lights up, and it's when he's eating his little rice balls.
The brilliant thing about this episode too is some of the clips that they use for the montage, they use for Adachi's montage when he realizes he had been thinking about Kurosawa too, which is like super brilliant.
Yeah.
Because it's like showing that they're both at the same place with each other.
He doesn't come to work. He takes like he's on like a traveling business trip to Osaka that day.
Yeah.
What's the train from Tokyo to Osaka?
It's got to be like a couple hours probably. High speed. HSR, high speed rail.
Oh my God, the way Adam and I love a high speed bullet train.
I don't know if you people are aware
how many
videos there are online of people just experiencing trains, and it's just no sound, no talking. It's just here's the train,
the cabin, here's the food,
here's the food, here's the signage, here's the platform, here's the bed, here's the blah blah blah.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's one of my favorite things.
It's one of the only things where I'm like, maybe I'm a little spicy.
Too spicy? Too. What do you mean? That you're stuck in America?
No. Like I'm like a little neurodivergent spicy.
Oh!
There's something about the like order and like precision and the like something about trains. I don't know what it is.
Something about trains.
Something about trains. You know, famously, Walt loves trains.
I do imagine you in a different life being like a train vlogger, like going to countries, trying out the different trains, and then like describing the experience
in a very serious way.
Yeah,
because I used to work at Disney World, and I used to like operate rides.
Yeah,
which is like a similar concept to driving a train.
Oh, you think you would have been a conductor?
My genuine like dream job. Money's not an issue. I get to like still do everything I want to do in my life. I get plenty of time off, blah, 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 blah. Is be a train conductor or an engineer or whatever. I think engineer is the one who drives the train. Conductor is the one who like takes tickets.
Yeah. Girl, there's a metro right there, girl.
I just like you travel.
Period.
It's totally separate from like air travel, which I do have like some anxiety about.
Yes. What would be my complete dream job? I have too many. Caterer, chef, content creator. I'm already living my dream. Honestly, now my dream would be to be a creative director of a K-pop idol group. That is
your dream job. Uh-huh. We have actually talked about this. Your dream job is to own a cafe, a bubble tea cafe, in Seoul,
for fans to make birthday cafes.
That also has a merchandise component where you can buy K-pop merchandise.
Yes,
and an area where fans can make it a fan cafe space.
Absolutely.
Idols can come. Absolutely. Trainees can come by.
Write their little letter.
Birthday. Yeah,
and I'll fully be like, okay, Hiroto just wants to see the pictures because he's training for his debut. Great. Come at this time.
I love that you chose Hiroto. Over everyone, you chose Hiroto.
Yeah.
I do think Hiroto had a lot of specifically cafe.
Yes.
Yeah. Meats.
Oh, mama, I will be open invitation to the TOZ cafe. Like any
I'll
fan
cater.
cafe.
Mama, I'll cater.
Birthday.
Coffee truck.
You got it.
For free.
That is my dream job. Why won't you let me do that?
Well, as we saw in 8 Cents,
anyone can have a bar in Seoul.
Any white person can have a bar in Seoul. Adachi is equally realizes he is equally as into
Kurosawa. And he's having all these thoughts about he can't stop thinking about him, all of the times that he's shown kindness to him, and he's appreciated every single time.
Every time he's heard his thoughts, and they're so sweet.
And caring for him.
Yes.
Like, he goes out of his way to be nice to Adachi. Yeah, it was like that thing where you realize, like, why is it that someone thinks so highly of me when I don't think highly of me?
If you can't, if you can't
let's say love yourself. How
in the hell
could you
are you gonna learn to love
somebody else?
Somebody else.
Wow.
And honestly, like, can I get an amen for saying that? You know what I mean? Stupid.
Let the music play.
Okay. Yeah. Stupid. So he runs out. This is
the part where I'm like, where are you running? Are you running to his apartment?
Because I was like, oh, is this the same? Where you run? When are we? Where are we?
I thought he was running to his apartment. But then why is Kurosawa walking towards the office?
No, I mean, it doesn't.
It doesn't make sense. Look, it doesn't need to make sense.
Who cares?
It's a damn show.
It's a damn show.
Okay.
Adachi on the street. They call Tokyo the city of love.
They call Tokyo the city that never sleeps.
They call Tokyo
the Windy City.
They call Tokyo the Windy City. They call the Tokyo City of Stars.
So he runs to him, and Kurosawa's like, "Are you okay?" And Adachi basically,
well, yeah, because he's clearly winded. I mean, he probably has an inhaler he should have used.
Well, you are Adachi.
Myungjae. Shout out
to our.
He's on my birthday list. Anyway, continue.
Adachi basically like gives his version of a confession.
Yes.
Which is very sweet because he is like, let me say these things.
Yes. Kurosawa tries to stop him. And
because I think he thinks he's just trying to be nice.
Yes.
Because he starts off being like, I'm sorry for yesterday. No, actually, I'm sorry for all
everything.
of it.
Yeah.
And he's like, you don't have to be sorry. Like, this is my fault.
Right.
But he's like, no, listen.
No, listen. I'm sorry because I
didn't realize and I haven't done shit.
Yeah. Then there's this beautiful hug. Do I wish it was more than a hug? Of course I do. I can only be human.
But it's episode 7.
But it's also very sweet. And they're very tender toward each other.
He says, I love you too.
He does say, I love you too. This is huge for the love community. Yeah. The community of love. And weirdly, telling someone you love them, not a Station of the Cross.
No. It's
really,
more about
truly.
like, I would say the station is more, would you say like the expression of like the confession?
No, I don't think that's part of it. I don't watch, because there are some things that it's just like, well, yeah, that's just how narratively you tell a story of like a relationship being built. Yeah. This isn't like a trope.
Yeah.
So sorry. Come up with something trope-like and not original. They're walking
it's like
together.
Arch, yeah. And Adachi is like, so what now?
Right.
So
where do you go from here?
Where do you go from here?
Because clearly Adachi didn't think what comes after the fact that I tell the person who told me he loves me that I love him back.
Yeah.
Because I think most people would be like, are we boyfriend, girlfriend?
Yes. And
Ken
I
and
don't
Barbie.
think I mean, technically they're boyfriends, like they're dating now, but where do you stand with the like, we don't like labels? Where do you stand with that whole movement?
Can I say that is so funny that you talk about this because you are not you were talking about boyfriend, girlfriend labels. I'm going to talk about the label of gay, which is does not exist in this world.
No. He does say in his confession, like, Adachi says, it's because we're both men. It would be easier if we were just friends.
Yes.
That's the closest we get to it.
There is something about this show being like, they're two people who fell in love with each other. And it exists outside of
a gay experience.
My
like I am
sexual
a gay
identity.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Which I don't think is like I don't think there's not a comment on whether it's right or wrong. I just think it's interesting that that's the choice that specifically the show has made.
But also, because I think about like where the show is going, like when they give each other the pens, like huge. They exist in a world, and this may just be Japan or office culture, but like the people in the office don't need to know my personal life.
Right.
You know, and it's just like they are fully together, like as a couple, and maybe we'll see it more in the movie, like have to interact. Mm-hmm. But like in the context of the show, like they are just coworkers.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then afterwards they look.
I don't think that's happening.
But where do you stand on like labeling a relationship? I think it's not the label.
Well, it's not. I mean, Mama, if this was 2014, it's not official until it's Facebook official.
Oh my God, that's so true. And we did do that.
We did do that.
We were like, let's make it FBO.
God, what a horrible time.
Yeah. It's not about the label for me, but there is a level of
June 8th, if anyone's curious.
I would say there is a level of commitment. Because I think that I don't like to label things as just an excuse of like, well, if I end up, wanting to date someone else, that's really what it's about. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just, there's obviously a lot of context that goes into, I don't like to label things.
Well, it's also weird. Genuinely, it's weird for us because we have been with each other for 10 years now.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't even when I was like dating in college, I don't know that I would have been able to, even if I was with someone, I don't know at what point I would have been like, I don't think there was like an official,
like you're exclusively.
Like when Nathan and I were together, I don't remember if there was like a conversation being like,
we're exclusively dating.
We're boyfriends. I genuinely don't remember. And then before that, they were like high school relationships. So like.
That's a completely different situation.
That's not real at all. Real. Sorry
to the girls. Yeah.
Tell us if you know.
Tell us dating community.
Yeah, people who are dating, do you like actually define it?
Yeah.
Is it better to define it, or is it better? I mean, it's probably better to define it.
Yeah.
Or at least define your expectations. Because also, just the term boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend can mean a bunch of different things. Yeah. So you have to like actually.
Anyway, so they're like, well, we can do whatever. Basically,
Adachi says,
should we go to dinner? And then Kurosawa goes, or can I come over to your place? I do think it's funny that the cliffhangers will always be about like, is this when his powers will be lost? Like, is this the moment? You know what I mean? Like,
because
they're always playfully teasing like, oh, it's finally gonna happen.
Okay, so funny that you say that. Sorry, spoiler alert for the rest of the show. So funny. Because the show... Okay, this show does not have a kiss. The show... We have not watched the movie. The show does not have a kiss between these two characters. But he loses his power.
Yeah.
So it's funny that the show insinuates that they fuck, but cannot show that they kiss.
Yeah.
Or didn't want to, or whatever. And like, I think I feel, I don't know. It depends on the show where I fall on the kiss spectrum. Because I liked a show where they didn't kiss. A Shoulder to Cry On. I really liked A Shoulder to Cry On. I don't think it was like my favorite show I've ever watched, but I thought
it was fulfilling. I feel
the explanation of their intimacy was so fulfilled that I didn't need to see them kiss to understand that they are like in a loving relationship. You want the kiss because the kiss feels like home base, like you're like you've made the home run.
Yeah.
But I thought that show did a good job of like giving us everything else except the kiss, that I was like, I felt satisfied with no kiss. Mm-hmm. But then there's shows where there is a kiss, but it's like you don't want a kiss, or
Nobleman Ryu.
Or there's the shows where it's like, oh, we're going to shoot it from this angle. So I know that you like fully this, just like, like not touching,
like
right?
This.
But you're shooting it at an angle so it looks like you're kissing, but I know you're not. And those upset me. I would just rather you not kiss. And
I'd rather you
build
not
the
kiss and do
intimacy in another way.
Show the intimacy in a different way.
Yeah. Because also, like, some of these kisses nowadays, oh my God.
Spittle. Oh my God, the dating sim bead of spit between their mouths.
Oh my God. I mean, literally one kiss changed my life. And that was Jiwook and Seven in Roommates. So, what can you do?
What can you do?
And
that's the episode.
That's the episode.
Who's your move up? I'd probably say Kurosawa again.
I'm going to say Kurosawa again because I know the next episode is going to be Adachi. Because there is my favorite episode, or my favorite
scene
in the entire series is in the next episode.
Yeah.
So I already know it's Adachi next episode. So I'll say Kurosawa this one.
Yeah.
But I really like Adachi's monologue.
Yeah.
On the street.
Because it's so genuine to this character. Yes, this character giving a confession is so far out of his comfort zone. Mm-hmm. But it's so realistic. Like, this is, if he built up the courage, this is exactly what it would look like and sound like.
These characters are written so, like, the way they talk, their dialogue is so specific to them. And I think that's something that, like, it's a great skill set of writers when they can, like, you can hear the differences in the way people speak.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think his performance is so good in this episode. Maybe I will give it to Adachi.
There you go.
I'll give it to Adachi.
That's Cherry Magic 7. We are not 7 with you.
Mm-hmm.